Hi everyone, thanks for checking in. It's Neil Selvage here, and I just thought I'd take a chance to look at some robust acoustic details. Now these are cropping up more commonly now, but there's a lot of misconceptions of how you deal with them, what you should be doing, but ultimately as well as how the verifiers can inspect these work. So I've put this little slideshow together to try and dispel some of the myths and also offer some possible solutions that I've used in the past. So what I've done here, I've just taken a very generic standard detail for an acoustic detail coming through a party wall between two properties. Now this particular drawing doesn't indicate a gas membrane, but it shows the DPC, where this would often be the common route where the DPC would travel along, and here we can see it's actually dotted through straight through the party wall or the internal insulation layer. So often there's a requirement now to bring the gas membrane down to this point here, or sometimes they will even specify a set depth below the required to allow further insulation to stop the sound transmission between the two properties. So I just thought I'd take this up on a standard detail so we could see what was happening on a drawing, and this might be a discussion point that we need to confirm prior to starting work, or is it just going to be assumed that because the dotted line goes there, but critical that the insulation in this area is completed prior to lining over the top. Alternatively, you might be lining down into this void. So I thought I'd just quickly sketch out some considerations, looking at it in a more practical isometric view, that we've got to be considerate that where the end of the acoustic detail occurs is how is that going to interface possibly with a cavity of the external part of the building. So we can see if that was the external face, and then we got the internal leaf here. So how is this all formulated, and will the acoustic detail just drop into this point here? As we can see, I'm just dotting the lines for the areas we wouldn't see, but that's a consideration, and also understanding how the depth that we need on that. So sometimes I have seen situations where they've run all the way through with the cavity with the party wall detail, but again, justifying how that works, there is going to be a stop end location. So just to highlight what we did there, actually I took a block, one of the concrete blocks on site. There's always going to be plenty of them knocking around. So we stood that on end and took the dimension that we needed. So we knew a block is 450 and its depth is 225. So what we did is we cloaked round the piece of membrane first of all to form the shape, obviously being mindful of the required depth. So we folded the membrane, and with the corners it's almost Christmas wrapping style, envelope wrapping, to bring those sheets down to form the shape you need. And that's when I applied the self-adhesive membrane, first of all in a overall square, and then we folded down through the center point, and we allowed that to drop down to form around the face of it. If you noticed, it was a very hot day that I was doing this work. I still did apply the heat activation just to make sure that it was all bonded. And again, this is all fully welded on these interfaces here. Floor structure, we're working to the design, and we've got this acoustic detail which I thought I'd just bring to your attention, that they don't often come about. So I just thought showing you what I've been up against here doing the detail. So my approach to it, I've just done a video clip actually of pre-forming. These are my units that I've pre-formed. Just makes it easier. So I've got support detail in the background, and I'm also using cross-link butyl tape on the surface, because it's quite difficult to actually get a heat gun into that bottom seam, because these are about 250 deep that's been specified. So the butyl actually forms a seal for the side for me, which I've heated and rolled. The rest of it I can fuse normally, and I've just done some reinforcing detail on the corners as we would do as a standard. So we've created the robust acoustic detail then. So I'm just going to start on this next one over here. So I hope that was helpful. There's certainly a lot of technicalities that can go on with these details, as with any other details that we encounter. But by all means, feel free to get in contact, ask questions. That's what I'm here for. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers now. Bye.